So, briefly off camera, Matt and I were talking about World Cup, and we were talking about the Netherlands.
About the Netherlands.
If
and
they,
the
I hate the Netherlands. I don't like. Come on, Arjen Robben's a jerk. I was trying to keep it PC.
Selective words.
Van Persie, we both as Arsenal fans could definitely
absolutely despise.
Yes,
but at the same time, like,
and same with Schneider.
My point was the last 3 or 4. Was it 3 times? 4 times? I don't remember.
Yeah, they made
the last number of times that the Netherlands has made it to the finals. They've always dropped the ball,
and they always lose.
They haven't faced.
And I want it to happen again.
Have they faced Germany?
No, I don't think they faced Germany. But
so my question is, if the Netherlands faces Germany in the finals,
no chance.
Really?
You think Arjen Robben, Schneider, and even if Van Persie's, if they're all fit, are going to be able to break down the German defense? No.
Well, but they've also been playing really well this World Cup.
Yeah, and score on Neuer though. I mean, yeah, they've done okay, but I don't think. I mean, I think they have to first beat Argentina. We'll see.
Which is going to be?
I don't know.
It
depends on Di Maria. I think if Di Maria is fit, then I think Argentina could pull it off.
We didn't. I mean, the U.S. versus Argentina wasn't.
We didn't play Argentina.
I mean, not Argentina.
We played Belgium.
Sorry. Belgium.
Yeah, the U.S. was that was a tough game, but...
It wasn't even tough. They just stopped playing. Hey, guys, welcome back to the Not So Round Table.
We talked 2 minutes about
George and I are hanging out here in our film studio. You guys know how it works for the Not So Round Table. You guys submit questions in the previous video. Those go into our helm of reasoning. And then
we answer it in a
completely just opinionated way. This is going up tomorrow, right?
Yeah. No, this is going up today.
Oh, today. We just finished Anime Expo.
Yeah, Anime Expo.
That was fun.
I was there on Sunday. I wasn't scheduled to be there on Sunday. Ended up having to help out.
It was still an awesome time.
Yeah, it was fun. There were people asking about you. Like, where were you on Sunday? I'm like, you got me.
There was a thing. I had a thing. There was a thing I had to do. It was important. It really was important.
I understand.
All right, so...
All right,
here we go.
Just dig it in.
Okay, Jason Fjorstein asks, do ski or snowboard goggles work for airsoft?
No.
Say
particular one. The short answer is no.
If you're just carte blanche...
Yeah, it has to be ANSI rated to impact resistance. Some of the Oakley ones, like I wear Oakley ones when I ski, those technically are impact rated, so I technically could use them.
Right.
Would I want to? No.
The ANSI rating scale is a way of measuring impact resistance, and I forgot the exact ANSI number. It's like 78.
I don't know.
But so as long as there's an ANSI rating on the goggles that is at or better than the current accepted goggles for airsoft, I'd say you could probably get away with it. But you'd want to choose something purpose-built for airsoft anyway, because they're going to breathe better, they're going to be a smaller profile, so they fit under a helmet.
They're going to be the right color. I mean, it would be really cool, though, you rocking like these bright orange, yellow camouflage Oakley goggles with the super, like, glossy finish.
High vis.
But, you know.
Shades uses the orange lens because they work real well for him.
Yeah, no, never mind. I have, like, the goggles I have for skiing are like the bright,
like
reflective,
the mirror, yeah,
like the reflective ones, and they're like bright white with a little bit of orange in there, and
you'd look ridiculous.
I do look ridiculous when
I'm saying they would look ridiculous.
Yeah, I haven't skied in a long time. Oh, this is a really, really small question. It's not even a question. Nick Lambert asks, "Electric blowback, go."
Electric blowback, go.
What does that mean? Does that mean that we like electric blowbacks? What's your opinion on electric blowbacks?
Okay, so you have really two kinds of electric blowback.
Yes.
Right? You have the ones that just move the little dust cover, and that looks great when you're filming or using as a prop, or you want to give that illusion of blowback. But if you want the recoil, you got to go with an ERG.
Yeah, or like the Tokyo Marui system, or the new GMP system that's coming out.
Right, because they actually give you recoil because of how the spring goes into the buffer tube and all that.
Personally, I don't like electric blowbacks because I've used them before, and then I realized it was another part to break or another thing to go around when you're doing tech work, and I just don't want to deal with that anymore.
Yeah,
simplicity. I just like a simplistic AEG now. I mean, it has a lot of stuff in it, but I want it simplistic. I want it to just shoot a BB.
No, and that's really what it boils down to, is you're asking the gearbox to do more than it was originally designed. So just be prepared to have to maybe replace things that you wouldn't in the future.
Innovation is good, though, for airsoft, so.
If you want blowback, just get a gas blowback.
Yeah,
they're super cool.
Or a Daytona gun.
Yeah. So this one's from Yorkshire Dubby.
Yorkshire Dubby?
Yorkshire Dubby.
Okay.
Or Doobie.
Doobie.
Yorkshire Doobie.
Okay.
I don't know. What are your opinions on Shemaghs? I bought one recently and had people constantly heckling me about being pro-Palestinian, etc. due to the color. What?
Wow. Oh my.
There's a reason you always see us wearing them, and there's
Shemagh
a reason you'll
great.
see a huge amount of other airsofters wear them, is because it provides not only fantastic neck protection, but it also works great for face protection if you got to pull it up real quick.
Yeah, if it's something like if you wrap the cloth pretty well and if it's above your face, if you take a BB from some sort of distance, you're probably not going to lose any teeth or anything like that. You might feel it.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not a good solution for like indoors.
No,
like
it doesn't count as full face pro.
But it is a good option if you want to run something light. I sweat a lot. Having a Shemagh around, even around the house, if I'm doing like chores or something, or if I'm outside doing like yard work.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I might get shot by some cops or something, but I don't know. It's just a joke.
Plus if you're in a game and for whatever reason, if you got to call blind man because your goggles are fogging or whatever, having a Shemagh there ready to go to wipe them out makes the other stuff you have to do.
I don't see why anybody should be heckling you for that at all. And if you, Army birthday, we go dressed as Hajis or whatever you want to call it. And
I would say the only drawback would be when you do have like the Shemagh tucked up under your goggles, they don't obviously breathe as well. And so you're going to get more fogging if you have your Shemagh tucked up real close to the vent holes on the goggles.
Yeah.
Only drawback.
Well, but it's a good thing. They shouldn't make fun of you for it because,
fools.
Special operations community will tell them
they need to get on your level.
Yeah, exactly. And then grow a beard. I don't know.
Yeah,
grow an epic beard with a Shemagh. I bet Roger would look badass with a freaking Shemagh and a...
He does. He does look good with a Shemagh.
Okay.
And the weird
Proximality, or the Proximality? This dude.
Proximal C.
Proximal C?
I don't know.
That sounds pretty good, Proximal C. I'll go with that. I'm wanting to start a team with my friends, but I don't know what to do or where to start. What are your thoughts on this? I think we talked about this before, but...
We have.
we know that we're going to get repeat questions, but the best advice is, all right, first off, if you're already playing with you and your friends, you're technically already a team, you just don't even know it.
You just got to get patches made. Or don't, and just call yourselves a team.
Yeah, exactly. So, where to start? Keep it simple. Just be friends. Me and my, quote, team, we're all friends first before, we have a team patch. We have certain procedures we follow for events. But
that was a result of you guys already being friends and playing together.
Yes.
Yeah.
We don't just let anybody in either. It takes a long time. You have to develop a friendship and all that stuff. We want to make sure when people join our group that they're also going to fit in with everybody.
Because teams are elitist like that. Mine too.
No, we're not necessarily elitist because my group's been around since 2003. There's not that many teams that are around that long. Your team was around pretty long, but we were all about like when we would go to smaller games or whatever, helping the other people, the newer people on the block get into. Yeah, I know. You guys were elitist, but then again, I know the members of your team, and I go, it explains a lot.
Yeah. Okay, so Facebook is a wonderful thing. We use it for networking. You guys can talk to us about NSRT and stuff. And the great thing about Facebook is you can create groups.
Yes.
And groups are a good way to keep up with each other.
Yep.
If you find guys in your area that also use Facebook, I recommend just starting a group together. Call yourselves the whatever team and then make a group page. So that way if one of you decides you want to have an event or go play, everyone can kind of check in on the same page and get the same information. So keeping in contact is important. Getting guys that are all kind of in the same area is also convenient. If you have a guy that lives 45 minutes or an hour away and can't always travel with you guys, that makes it a little bit difficult. But
also figure out what your goals are. If your goals are to travel around to events or whatever, then you got to think about, what's that going to, is everybody going to be able to pitch in? We have some members who are able to travel and some members who aren't. And, if that's one of your goals, then, well, I don't know. Just figure out your goals and keep it simple.
And then make patches.
You can buy patches from us. We sell team patches.
All right. Good answer, though. Good answer. I love teams.
Do you?
I do. I think teams are cool. That sounded so insincere.
Yes.
I really do. I think teams are a great way to build camaraderie.
Make you more effective as a squad.
I wish I could get my dad to play with me. Like I've seen so many airsofters with like their dads, like this father and son, or even like mom and daughter. Like we've seen a couple.
Yeah, we've seen that.
Like if you get that like parent and child kind of dynamic in airsoft, it makes it such a cool experience. Plus, you get to shoot your parents if you're on opposite teams. Okay, that's what she said. 100 asks, legitimate name. Dear Enser, Oakley versus RayBans. For sunglasses,
Oakley.
I have both. What's
actually funny is my wife has RayBans and I have Oakley.
Yeah.
I am a Oakley fanatic. I've had Oakleys for, when was I in college? I think I had my first set of Oakleys was in like 2004.
So
10
in the
years,
world
a decade of Oakleys.
Yeah.
I've had. I mean, I like my half black jackets. They're a little banged up.
Had those forever.
But I mean, I've gone through probably 4 or 5 pairs of sunglasses. I still have. Actually, all the glasses I've owned, I still have. None of them broke.
Really?
I just decided to get new styles.
I tend to lose them.
I've never lost nice sunglasses. When I had cheap sunglasses, I used to lose them all the time.
I'm completely opposite.
Really?
I've got a $5 pair of sunglasses that I cannot get rid of. And then I've got these RayBans that I've got. Okay, so there are 2 companies that I would go to for aviators if you're looking for aviators. There's a company called Savannah. They've been making like the brown tinted aviators for like years. And then Ray-Ban, obviously. Yeah. You don't go to Oakley for
Ray-Ban,
for aviators. And then on the other side of things, like you don't necessarily go to Ray-Ban for tactical.
No, it's not just that. They're just different style of sunglasses. But I totally think that the Oakleys are a little bit more affordable than the Ray-Bans.
Yes.
And a little bit better looking than the Ray-Bans.
Their polarization
more durable.
Better,
I mean, these
honestly.
are polarized. So I mean, they're awesome. Once you go polarized, you never go back.
Yeah, I like Oakley's polarization better than I like Ray-Bans.
Yes. Good question. I love Oakley.
I like when we get to expand past just airsoft because this is a lifestyle thing. You know, airsoft is life.
Okay.
We need to make a shirt. Do not say this. All right. Well,
I can't say this name, apparently. They said do not say this, whoever. How relevant do you guys feel offhand shooting is? I'm lefty, and it seems most guns are made for righties, correct? Lately, especially M4 platforms. Oh, sorry, it was a run-on sentence. I apologize. So, learning to shoot offhand seems to be a requirement for me, but tactically, does it make sense? An old friend of an old person who used to work here, Mike, he was a left-handed shooter. He was in the military, and he shot left-handed, even in the military.
Really?
Obviously, you will manipulate your gun differently left-handed. You just have to, once you're used to it, you're kind of used to it, to operating it left-handed.
Sure.
There are very few guns that you technically can't operate left-handed. One of them...
It's just a little bit more difficult, man.
No. One of them is being like the L85. In the L85, in real life, if you use that left-handed, you're going to have brass hitting you in the cheek and probably a bolt ripping your face off. Yeah. But most of the other guns, you just got to learn how to manipulate it differently, that's all. And then shooting offhand is very important because, especially in CQB, you got to be able to shoot from your left-hand side and your right-hand side, depending on what corner you're moving.
From what I've noticed, just in the general world, and then how it applies to airsoft is, I find that most of the lefties I know have a much easier time adapting to right-handed platforms because we technically live in a right-handed world.
Yeah.
And so for lefties, a lot of things you have to end up doing with your right hand, operating a mouse,
driving
things
a stick
like that,
shift.
driving stick shift.
Well, no. If they use a mouse, they usually will do it on their left-hand side. I have another friend who... Anyway, go ahead.
But I find it difficult as a righty to adapt to a left-handed shooting position. And I've always had difficulty with this. I always gravitate to using my right, even when if that means I got to poke out
more of your body,
more of my body outside a corner, just because I cannot aim offhanded very well, and I definitely need to work on that.
Just practice. That's what I did when I was having trouble with it. I just practiced it, and then I was doing it for shooting anyway, and for airsoft, it's the same thing. You got to learn it, and you got to practice it. You're never gonna be as good at your left offhand as you are at your primary.
Would you say that a red dot helps take up some of that slack?
Yes, a lot, because all you're doing is just, instead of relearning everything, you're just looking for the dot and shooting.
Okay, so if you're having trouble, like myself, maybe investing in a red dot that's zero to the gun will help you get comfortable with shooting offhanded.
Yes, that helps a lot. Maybe another thing is, when you first start doing it, some people try to go all out and try to learn reloads and all that stuff. When I'm, even me, I'm a pretty experienced shooter. When I get in that offhand mode, I go retarded when
go back behind the wall and switch to your dominant
Yeah, I know,
hand
but like
reload.
I look for the mag. I'm like, where's my release? I have to hit it with my.
With your
I'm all confused.
Yeah.
I'm all confused, and I'm pulling. Even though I have one of my mags set for left-handed reloads,
really?
sometimes I do, only in CQB.
And
then I pull it out, and then I don't know what to do. So maybe I just need to practice more.
I didn't even think about having a left-handed.
Yeah, no, it's tough. I just put it back to my right hand and reload.
All right, Bob Haight asks,
or pull out my pistol.
Is there a price difference between Milsim and just a general airsoft game?
Yes.
Yeah.
Average Milsim game for like a big event, if you go with any of the major people or even like companies like Milsim West or any of those guys, going to cost you at least $100 for the event. But you get a higher level of gameplay, usually a better AO, better organization, more organized, all that. Versus like here locally, you can go play just a standard airsoft game at SC Village for like what, $20 maybe.
On the other hand, though, if you're not necessarily going to an airsoft event that's put together, if you've got a bunch of friends that all want to get into the Milsim aspect, and you've got the approval of whatever field or whoever's private property that you're using to do that, you could throw together a Milsim game for $0.
Yeah, that's very true.
€0. 0 Great British pounds. 0 yen.
XXX Jello 0 or Jello XXX. Sexual Jello?
Yeah.
I don't know. Hey, Matt, George, and guess. No guess. Most of the time, I'm fumbling with my mag gear when I reload or throw a grenade. Do you have any tips on what I should do? So
with his what?
He's fumbling around with mags, gear, such as like a tornado grenade, or such as a grenade. Any tips?
Take your time. There's a famous line from the movie Shooter with Mark Wahlberg, when he's telling I forgot the actor's name.
Yeah, I did too.
He's telling him slow is smooth, smooth is fast, and that's this mantra that they had. I was watching the special features from the movie, but that's this mantra they had during the filmmaking when they were talking about. He's a sniper, and if you slow down and really just deliberately learn the steps, learn your reloading steps, learn accessing your gear and your mags. Take your time, you'll be smoother, and ultimately that smoothness will make you faster in the long run.
Yeah.
Getting used to reloading quickly is difficult, because in Airsoft you can kind of reload differently than you would in real life. I generally pull a new mag before my old mag is out.
Yes.
And then I'll hot load it. So I'll be firing and then drop mags, put in the new one, and then worry about my spent magazine. So that way I have a minimal amount of time between engaging people. That took a long time for me to get used to, because a lot of times I'd jam the mag wrong, or
It comes down, like, for example, world-class shooters do not develop their skills overnight. I mean, these guys will buy airsoft guns and just do reloading drills for hours in their garage. I've done stuff like that when I used to shoot IDPA a long time ago. It's like you would do dry fire exercises and stuff like that, because if you don't practice, you won't be good at it. So, the tips I could give you would be...
don't do the mag flippy thingy in a firefight.
Yeah, basically you want to reload with retention, which is retaining your mag. The only exception would be, let's say you're in a CQB environment, like if I was shooting, then again, I don't know what I would do. If I was shooting it, my gun ran dry, would I do a quick reload or just drop and go to my pistol? I'd probably go to my pistol anyway. So practicing a reload and retention, if you don't, you can look that up and you can develop some techniques that are good. My favorite is I'll pull the mag out, grip it, so the top of the mag will be pointing towards the camera, grab the bottom of the mag, and then pull, and then flip, and then put the other one back in the dump pouch. Or if you're in really big trouble, just drop it and pick it up later.
Right.
If you're in really dire need at that point.
Just don't waste the time flipping it.
Exactly. Don't do a bolt look.
Yeah.
If you want to look at your bulks as you're used to, especially with the gas blowback. And here's another thing, with a gas blowback, you better not be throwing $40 mags across the room,
around,
because you're just going to break them. Those are things you don't want to be dropping. So that is where a reload with retention is even more useful, is with a gas blowback system.
For more tips and tricks from George on practical shooting advice, Ask him on the Insert Facebook page.
No, don't ask me.
He knows so much more than I do on like practical shooting techniques.
As for grenades, here's one tip: if you pull a tornado grenade out,
don't hold on to it,
especially a timed one. Make sure when you pull it out, like the ports are facing direction A and direction B. The reason for that is don't have it pointed at you and then pull that, because sometimes those tornado grenades, especially when they're older, have a tendency to lose their fuse. And the grenade will go off in your face.
Yeah, or if it's a Thunderbeat, don't let the spoon flip.
No, flip the spoon and then toss.
Yeah. I think that's...
Don't overfill them with water or baby powder or...
And then hold them above your head when you're at ITS.
All right, guys, that's it for tonight. Oh, that was a loud clap.
No, thanks for joining us once again. If you guys have any future questions, maybe something we haven't answered yet, by all means, submit that question in the comments section below. It'll go into our Helm of Reasoning, and then George and myself, and perhaps a guest. Maybe we'll bring Shades back next time.
We keep talking like we're going to do it, we never do it, so let's just see.
We're going to have to. We're going to have to, because he just stands now with a whiteboard ready to go.
And then he gets shut down, and he's all sad.
Yeah, it's like when you grab the leash and your dog's ready to go for a walk, and then you just walk out.
That's messed up.
Shades is upset.
See, now you're comparing him to a dog.
I'm sorry, Shades. We got to go before Shades kills me. See you guys next time.
Later. Go Germany.